Tonight, the stakes are high. The 2017 NPSL Midwest Region Championship on the line. Detroit City FC, AFC, and Arbor will kick it next.
I can cuss?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Hold on, let me put my phone on silent.
Talk to me.
All right,
Yourself to me.
bet. The birth of Sheaf and McFly goes as such. I was an artist before a musician. I grew up always drawing. I went to like middle schools, high schools, college for art. And then I didn't start diving into music until my teenage years and like started producing my own music. Out here drinking beer, you know, taking a shot, staying hot, pretty cool. I kind of figured out late that techno came from Detroit. Cause I never really left Detroit till I got older. We was just blessed to get so much different types of music. It was like, I felt like I had a birthright. My goal to show everybody like using sound and visual. It's virtually the same thing, it's just using different media. But I like to think my paint's really descriptive so you can like hear it like it's music. This mural right here, it's called Detroit Never Left and stuff, you know. I made like a local Detroiter on there. Somebody like walking up and down this street right now to pay homage. So you good, bro? See, he could be on the wall right there, you feel me? That's him. I go so hard for Detroit because it's all I know. Born and raised, bred and fed. You just walk around the corner and oh, you on some bull? No. What? This is why I made everything happen. I feel like I'm obligated to like not only put my city on the map, but help other people, you know, do what I'm doing, if not better, you know. All right, good seeing you, bro. What up, though? I'm Sheaf McFly. I'm the greatest artist that ever lived.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Tyrone Mondi here, and I just wanted to say I hope you guys are doing good in this chaotic time, and hope you guys are staying safe. Otherwise, I'm back, but in a different capacity. I'll be doing a little bit of commentary on the AFC and Arbor versus DCFC game that we played in the Midwest Regional Final. Obviously, this game brings back fond memories, you know, special event and some special people too that I remember from this game. So let's get right into it.
National semifinal.
You know, they say that one of the toughest things in sports to do, Neil, is to beat a team 3 times in a season. You hear about it in the NFL, you hear about it all through the worlds of sports, and that is the case. And you have to go in, if you're AFC and Arbor, and try to play the way that you played all season long to get here. What that means is they want to press high, they want to keep their defensive line high. If their center backs are heading toward the goal inside their own 30-yard line on the football field here, as you can kind of see the yard lines that have been painted over here at Keyworth Stadium. If AFC Ann Arbor's center backs sit back, it's going to be good news for Detroit City FC because it will allow them to use their pace on the wings and dictate tempo. The higher that AFC Ann Arbor is able to press, the better joy they will have. They are quick through the midfield, and they run at center backs, frankly, better than any team in the NPSL Great Lakes Conference, save perhaps the team they face tonight. So you're going to take a look at who controls tempo in midfield, and you're going to look at 2 great goalkeepers as well. Fernando Pena between the sticks for La Rouge, and TJ Tomaso, who now has 8 clean sheets after he kept a clean sheet last night in the playoff semifinal win. He goes the other side. 2 great keepers and 2 great midfielders. It all adds up to a possible classic in the 4th division of the game.
Detroit City will possess first. As we are ready to go. Fernando Pena's ready. TJ Tomaso ready. 2 world-class goalkeepers in their own right. The official takes a last survey of the field, checks his watch. Opening kick brought to you by Chemical Bank. The whistle sounds. We are underway. Let's crown a Midwest champion. We are 90 minutes from it here at historic Keyworth Stadium.
For the starting lineups, when we look at the team, we set up Ben made, I think, one change to a starting lineup from the game we played before that. In goal we had Fernando Pina, who I personally call the Spider-Man. He doesn't know this, but. And then from the back four, we had at right back, we had Troy Watson, who was a very good player, very versatile, could play anywhere on the field. Very commanding player, very smart player too. The two centre backs, we had Zach Bark, who was very robust, very strong, very commanding defender. Was very good in 1v1 defending situations. And then we had Stephen Carroll, the current captain for DCFC. Very smart player, very technically gifted. Didn't say much, but was a strong leader from the back, and he was one of the pivotal or the spine of the team. You know, he was always one encouraging us, keeping us motivated and in line. And then at left back we had Omar, who was also a very gifted player, very technically gifted, very versatile too. Could play in multiple roles, either in centre back or right back or left back. He was mostly the clown of the team. Was always making jokes and stuff. But yeah. And then in the midfield we had the three musketeers, I'd like to call. We had Dave, who was a workaholic, always the one communicating instructions, keeping us in check. You know, he was one that, no matter if he had like a brilliant game or if he had a really down game, but he would give you effort, and he'd work hard for the team. He'd sacrifice a lot of things for the team. So he was a beast. He was a machine. And then we had the chef, Bakey Goodman. I'd like to say this guy helped us a lot this season. In the 2017 season, he was one of the unsung heroes of the team, and I believe that he's a very gifted player, very talented. Doesn't say much, speaks mostly of with the way he plays. And then we had the one and only Cyrus Sadie. I can't say much about him. In training, I used to look at him. He never used to shoot the ball. He just used to pass the ball into the back of the net when he was scoring or shooting. But yeah, he was a magician to start off with. Very good, very talented player. One that comes around every now and then. And he was just one that could pull something out of the hat, you know. Very gifted player. Up top we had Roddy Green at right wing. Very talented, very pacey player, very tricky. We needed someone like that who was unorthodox in his approach to the game. So he gave us a little bit of a different dynamic. He could play up top too as a number 9, as a winger. So he was very versatile as well. And then we had Jordan Tyler up top. Many people were very surprised that Sean wasn't playing in this game, but Tyler gave us a different dimension and a different perspective to play up to. He was more of a target guy. He would occupy the two centre backs of Arbor, give us more space to roam around, to Cyrus to give him a little bit more freedom. With that, and then at left wing we had myself.
As Tyrone Mondi was taken down, and head coach Ben Pierman not pleased with the non-reaction from the officiating crew. Almost 4 minutes into play, and this is exactly like a heavyweight fight right now in the first round. Not many punches being thrown, just more of a feeling out process, trying to figure out what the other team wants to do. Cyrus Sadie will be hit with that call.
And that's deserved. Cyrus came in there he came in kind of hot. And he's just setting it out there. And you know what? Sometimes there's an old story about, I believe it was Oscar Robertson, who didn't like to necessarily throw elbows. And he got told by his coach back when he was playing in the early days of the NBA, listen, when you're in a national game or when you're in a game on the radio, just go and throw one elbow hard, and you'll never have it happen again, and people will lay off you. And Cyrus Sadie gets abused more than pretty much any midfielder in the league. So maybe you go out there and you take a shot early, and maybe it gets you some space later on.
Fernando Pina puts the right boot to it. Was an all-MAC first-teamer as a freshman at Akron, National Soccer Powerhouse. Allowed 2 goals in 298 minutes of action in the 2011 CONCACAF U17 Championships. Very seasoned. Was a #1 goalie recruit in high school in the entire country. Coming out, he's played at a high level for a very long time. And of course on the other side, TJ Tomaso, the keeper for AFC Ann Arbor. He's played at the highest levels in America as well, signed a developmental contract with the New England Revolution. Here comes Tyrone Mondi looking to go to work. Official says play on. Mondi was flipped over. Becky Goodman steps over. He's taken down, and this time the whistle is blown.
And I think both of those are the correct decisions. The City fans won't like that, but I think maybe you'll see on the replay with Mondi, that's
shoulder there?
Little shoulder, but it was a relatively clean shoulder, and the defender held his position, and Tyrone kind of went over, and his momentum carried him through. The second one was definitely a foul. So our official right on top of it. You'd like Tyrone to get that first decision, but I think the decision to hold off there was the correct one. And the second foul clearly had to be called.
Tyrone Mondi was magic in his service last night. Let's see if he can do it again. Mondi puts a right boot to it, curls it in, and it's headed over top of the bar. The first dangerous opportunity goes to Detroit City, and that man, Tyrone Mondi, almost hooked it up again.
That's the difference between top of your head and front of your head. That went off the top of his head. If he had gotten it down to the side of his head or the front of his head, it's 1-0.
Zach Bach. A little too much mustard on that hot dog as it carries over the crossbar. Zach Bach played college soccer at Western Michigan, was a first-team All-MAC performer last year, won a U16 national championship with the Michigan Jaguars in his high school time.
See, this is good for City right here. They are forcing the back line for Ann Arbor to back up. They're now at about the 25-yard line of the football field, and they'll slowly creep forward. But Jordan Tyler is doing a nice job of occupying both center backs right now.
There's Stephen Carroll with it. Carroll scored 3 goals for Davenport College last year, and he has possession one more time. So, John, that early opportunity that seemed to change the MO of AFC Ann Arbor. The pressure's not quite as high now.
Yeah, you know what? One time with Tyrone Mondi getting the afterburner, and all of a sudden you have to respect that. The other side to that point is that AFC Ann Arbor can do the same thing. Caleb Jackson is just as adept, and so is Cal Breitmeyer at getting through defenses. And so you take a look at that at your City and know that it can come at you from the other way, and you can't switch off.
Just 8 minutes down. No score here in the 2017 NPSL Midwest Region Final. Throw-in headed down. Becky Goodman will try to settle it. That ball goes out of play. The throw into AFC Ann Arbor. Of course, the NPSL playoffs are powered by Miter. AFC Ann Arbor gave up a grand total of 9 goals. Like the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 9 goals total in 14 matches.
What's the score? Nothing. Who's winning? The Bears.
Yep. That long ball served over top of Tyrone Mondi. And they scored 33 times. There's a head coach, Ben Pierman, sitting with his assistants, Josh Rogers, Brett Mullen as well. Across the door, Jordan Andrews on the bench as well. Ben Pierman in his 5th season here at the helm for City.
You can't let Breitmeyer get that ball in that position. Stephen Carroll needed to step in there.
Breitmeyer plays his college soccer at Liberty, was Big South All-Conference second team. Now on the left side, AFC Ann Arbor with their first real sustained possession. And in the 10th minute.
That all got started from a great long ball into Breitmeyer, who held up the ball nicely and sent it into the middle to allow Ann Arbor to set up. This all started from Breitmeyer being able to get through the side of Carroll. And a nice job there by City to kind of flip the script a little bit.
Jariah had the ball taken away from him, which you don't see all that often. Jariah, a very, very good player for AFC Ann Arbor. Played for the Zimbabwe national team at the U15, U17, U14 levels. Hopeful ball sent up. Jordan Tyler the target. Cyrus Sadie, the savvy veteran, getting in there trying to get the possession. Let's take a look at tonight's Better Made Fun Fact. The World Soccer Organization, as slang abbreviation of the word association. It originated in Britain, but the U.S. popularized the term after World War II. It's tonight's Better Made Fun Fact.
So if anyone who happens to be watching around the world takes a look at Americans calling the game soccer, remember we didn't come up with it.
I took some heat on Twitter this morning from some fans over on the other side of the pond for calling it soccer. That term was created in Oxford, England.
By those fellas, yeah.
So I'm just going by what I was told to do, everybody. Let's say an extra special hello to Chris watching from Dublin, Ireland. A big Detroit City FC fan. So welcome, Chris, watching overseas, which is usually the case. We get about 20 different countries checking in at some point.
We're glad Chris from Dublin is tuning in.
12th minute, no score. Detroit City has had the better chance so far here. Zach Bach off a free kick from Tyrone Mondi, headed it just over top of the crossbar. That ball played out. So some pace there from Troy Watson forces the issue. Now it's a throw-in for City.
But that's a really good job for AFC Ann Arbor getting over and playing that ball. I think that was Jirira who came in and just cleared it out for the throw. He did what a center back is supposed to do when you have someone coming in on a run. Get it away. And they do it again. Solid center back play, forcing Omar Sinclair to come and look in front at AFC Ann Arbor's Breitmeyer, asking the question of Sinclair and winning the ball, and Omar Sinclair is very lucky at the moment. He hasn't been called for a foul.
Zach Bach. Very physical play. I believe that's Kyle Breitmeyer over there.
And the foul
Mixing up
finally
with Bach.
called. Yeah, but here's the thing, and Detroit City fans have taken AFC Ann Arbor to task for playing physically. They're saying they're going to play hacker rouge and different things of that nature. That's also part of the game. If you know and I was talking with Klaus de Boer, and I said, what do you think of this Ann Arbor team? He said, they're more physical than we are. They have a physical advantage. And when you have a physical advantage over another team, then part of the game becomes how much can we get away with? And you go until you hear a whistle, because it ain't cheating if the referee doesn't call it in terms of what goes on the soccer pitch. So even DCFC knows that there are advantages to be had, and even DCFC staffers know that Ann Arbor has a physical presence out there, and they're going to use it. The key is to not let that get you off your game, because when you are being, kind of pushed or chipped at out there, the minute DCFC then gets out of their game and starts to retaliate, problems happen.
Here's Ronnie Green trying to create some problems for AFC Ann Arbor, but they recover once again defensively. And now the Mighty Oak will attempt to counter. Hector Morales with it, sending it wide on the right side. Sam Zaset has it touched away, but a quick throw in. Ann Arbor back to work. Zaset trying to go around Omar Sinclair. He does, and Sinclair recovers to touch it out, so another throw in coming.
AFC Ann Arbor coming forward, and their defense with a very high line right now. Feels very compact.
Actually, City was awarded that throw-in. Send it into the captain, Dave Edwardson. He pops it high in the air for Tyrone Mondi. Well, that's a mismatch in size right there with Matthew Brame and Tyrone Mondi.
And Tyrone just conceded that.
That's wise. Hector Morales. Zaset. Throw-in coming for AFC Ann Arbor. It's been tough sledding, John, so far in the first 14 and a half plus minutes for AFC Ann Arbor, really to build any sustained possession. We've seen them be able to matriculate it up the field. However, no real connectivity in terms of passing.
No, and you're absolutely right. City's done a good job of hanging on, but Neil, if I have to be honest, as that is a scuffed shot, and City should be thankful for that. I've seen an awful lot of good shape from AFC Ann Arbor, so I think it's a matter of when, not if, you'll see that pressure.
Fernando comes up big for us. He saves us and keeps us in the game, makes two brilliant saves. Like I said, I used to call him Spider-Man. He literally gave us a lifeline. to keep us in this game. And I don't know if this would have gone in, if it would have changed the whole dynamic of the game, but I'm pretty sure it would have. But yeah, he was a very good goalkeeper, very good reflexes, and he kept us in the game.
International caliber man, and the American won twice. Fernando Pena, the better save was the second one. He had to go down to make the first, and he got up quickly and in keeping position.
Here comes the corner now from AFC Ann Arbor. Ball served in, and it's headed just over top of the bar. Oh, an ultra dangerous opportunity that goes by the boards. I believe it was Caleb Jackson that was right at the crossbar. How did he miss that? He was right in front of the goal.
Yeah, sometimes it's harder to miss than it is to score, and he took the hard way. But you know what? You were talking about the fact that you hadn't seen sustained pressure. There's your pressure.
There you go.
Coming right in. Their shape, AFC Ann Arbor's shape, has been better than Detroit City's for most of this match. And a great save by Pena, and then a missed header. City need to get back to playing City's way. Right now they're looking tentative.
Next 15 minutes of play brought to you by Fago, the official pop of Detroit City FC. Up the left side, Dave Edwardson on the move. That ball's played out. And a goal kick awarded, much to the chagrin of the Detroit City bench. We have an AFC Ann Arbor player down on the turf.
And it
James Vaughn.
I think it's, yeah, it is. You're right, it is Vaughn there. Nice spot. And I think it's going to be okay. The referee waving off the medical personnel. He said he was all right, just went down.
James Vaughn had 2 goals against Detroit City FC right here in historic Keyworth Stadium back on July 11th. The 3-1 win.
He also had the winner last night on a beautiful set piece.
Curled it just off the fingertips of the Dayton keeper. The 92nd minute. The pressure cooker was all the way turned up on AFC Ann Arbor yesterday. 0-0 through 90 minutes. It took stoppage time to decide a winner. Almost 18 minutes in the books here. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. We're level at 0. But that is not the story. Fernando Pena has been the story, especially in the last 5 minutes. Making some acrobatic stops. Keeping AFC Ann Arbor off the board. Zach Bach had a header go just over the crossbar in the first 10 minutes of play. That is where we stand. You can tell it's a championship match, folks. Midwest Regional Final.
So smart there in midfield to turn that around and reset. And that's a nice little 1-2 play. And Zach Bach comes back, and that was not the clearance you wanted. And thankfully a teammate saves his blushes, because that wasn't Zach Bach's best.
Stephen Carroll comes in to clean up the mess. So for now, City off the hook. Got some more tweets coming in with a hashtag Watch City. Ryan K says, I'm watching in Ann Arbor. Let's go City. Trace checks in from Iowa. City till I die. AJ Pettix tweeting in says, well, my body is here in Virginia. My heart and soul are cheering for my boys, Detroit City FC, in the playoff finals.
And how about Chris Monroe at SGT_Monroe? He is in Nuremberg, Germany, watching us on a 120-inch screen tonight. That's some reach.
No doubt about it. Worldwide audience here for historic Keyworth Stadium tonight as the train rolls through.
Something tells me the engineer might know there's a soccer match going on.
There he is.
And laid the horn on a little long.
The old 2194 coming in. Of course, lots of auto plants in the area. Typically, that is what will make up the loads of these trains that roll through. A lot of chassis and those types of things of cars, as Tyrone Mondi is shaken up. Tyrone Mondi's been taking a beating here so far tonight.
And that's all about getting him off his game. Tyrone Mondi gives up size to everybody but me. And I stand about 5'4". And so if you're out there and you know he can beat you with pace, you want to get him off his game, because every little hit that you give him, every little chop, it takes a little bit of the energy. It takes a little bit of the pace away.
Special hello to NGS Harvard Yard. They're having a city watch party here tonight. Mondi to Cyrus Sadie. They're grilling food, drinking beer, and watching the game. It's pretty much all you need in life right there.
Absolutely.
Long ball sent in for Mondi. He's not going to be able to track that down, is he? Oh, he almost did. That ball skating across the Keyworth pitch. Shout out to our buddy Gus Macker as well. Says he's working late tonight, but his mom's watching in Lemoore, North Carolina. I like this. She thinks the Seb Harris cutout from yesterday was actually him. It was, wasn't it?
I thought so. It looked good enough on camera. By the way, want to say hi out to a couple of listeners, well, a couple of watchers I believe they're in Kansas City tonight. Hogs, one of the NGS expats, and Doc Marcotte, who are watching tonight. They're decked out in their city finest.
Friend David Sabin checking in from Philadelphia as always. Brian in Murfreesboro, Tennessee with friends from Michigan. They're having a watch party as well. And if we missed you, I'm sorry. They're flying in here tonight. There's no way we're going to be able to keep up with them all, but we appreciate every single one of you. Fernando Pena will swing it back over to Stephen Carroll. 22nd minute. No score. Every minute ticks off the clock. The screw tightens just a little bit, and a little bit more, then a little bit more.
You know what? AFC Ann Arbor, frankly, is doing everything right now. On the back end, their line is very high. And on the front end, Kyle Breitmeyer and Hector Morales are running at Detroit's center backs every time they're forced to touch the ball.
Cyrus Sadie trying to sneak one through that back line.
And he gets a foul. Ooh.
And that ball blasted up into the air by Ben Thornton.
And the referee had turned his back. And otherwise, I think you might have seen a booking for dissent. If I'm his assistant, I flag him over and let him know, because Ben Thornton sent that one into the stratosphere. Omar Sinclair is going to stand over this. You think it's a Sinclair kind of ball. He scored from almost this spot last night. Now, the one thing that AFC Ann Arbor is doing better, they have learned that his ball curls to the near side. It curls to the left usually. And they've set up a bigger wall with the keeper, Tommaso, on the other side.
There's some shenanigans going on in along the line. Roddy Green wore one, and the official saw it. And you know he saw it because he ran right to the offender and is having a chat. So it's Tyrone Mondi or Omar Sinclair. How do you want it? There's some room on that right side. Of course, TJ Tommaso's over there. But a well-struck shot. Could find that right corner. Let's see. Sinclair steps into it, drives it just wide of the left post. Omar Sinclair with some funk on that shot.
He almost did it again.
Curled just wide. TJ Tommaso credit though, he was
there.
He was over there.
He was in a better position.
Yep.
And because he's seen that before. TJ knows that Omar Sinclair can bend those kind of balls and put it toward the post. And Omar didn't miss by much.
Ends the set. Pops that one high in the air. Yuri Farkas rocking the blue lettuce again here tonight. There you go. There's Uriah up the left side. Troy Watson steps in front of him.
And that's another turnover from City. Again, because of a heavy touch and a half-hearted ball. They're playing scared right now along the back. The midfield and the back line are playing tentative and scared. And City is running at, or AFC Ann Arbor is running at them, and City is retreating. This is not the way they played during that 9-match win streak during the regular season. And it's not the way they've played in the last 4 matches since losing to AFC Ann Arbor.
At Centennial's ads checks in with the hashtag Watch City, watching from Saugatuck, Holland area over on the west side of Michigan. Keith Gallardo's watching in El Paso, Texas. Tony Long breaking down the equipment at the computer screen and the Bose speakers. Appreciate that. Now that ball is taken away by Hector Morales. Morales turns. Morales had 6 goals at Schoolcraft College with 2 game winners. Six-minute no score. Zassett tosses it in. Mondi touches at it, will trickle over the line just out of the reach. Jordan Tyler. Tyler played his college soccer at Penn State, was a Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week back in 2013. 2 game-winning goals his junior year, one of those against Michigan State Spartans back in 2013.
Interesting little exchange there as Tyrone Mondi was fouled, and the player who fouled him for AFC Ann Arbor pointed at him because the referee was right there. He pointed at him and he made the diving motion as if to say Mondi's going down too easy. It's not that he's going down too easy. Tyrone wants to stay on his feet. It's that he's about half the weight you are, son. And so the little, he bounces off players. And that's part of it. But the referee, you know, the AFC Ann Arbor trying to get into the referee's head and open up the standard for more physical play.
There's Zach Bach turning around. So AFC Ann Arbor closes the door on that right side.
Such a good shape for the Mighty Oak in midfield right now. They forced Zach Bach to turn around without having to move 2 feet. The midfield is moving as a unit, and Detroit City is not finding the space and joy in midfield that they need.
It's just tough to find a passing lane right now. AFC Ann Arbor has all the angles covered. That's about the best you're going to do. What they just saw, Yuri Farkas touching that one over the line. Just put such pressure on the passing game, building passes, which in turn puts a ton of pressure on receiving those passes. You have to be clean. Tyrone Mondi with it. Sinclair makes a run, but instead he finds Cyrus Sadie. Sadie with the hesitation, takes on 2 defenders, goes through the legs, and his cross is popped up in the air.
And it was another nice job by the AFC Ann Arbor center backs. They just waited and waited. They knew that he wasn't going to try to make a cut toward goal. Cyrus likes to cross it off of that kind of play. And they stood in there and just intercepted the cross.
There's Cyrus Sadie again. Well, he's just got that ball attached to his feet with a string. Mondi coming through on the move. Tyrone Mondi with the cross, and the ball trickles just wide of the right post. Jordan Tyler will track it down and win a corner. So the heat is on.
That's a heck of a job by Tyler to not give up that play. Neil goes across, had a chance, couldn't find anybody, and look at Tyler sprinting. Was behind 2 players and beat them both to the ball.
Here comes Tyrone Mondi in his office over at the corner. Dangerous last night. Serves it up again with some good pace, and that ball was headed out cleanly by Yuri Farkas.
Great job by Farkas. Made sure there was no free runner, and then once he realized there was no run toward the back post, said, all right, job 2 is get it out of there, and he did.
Morris Sinclair with a nice job coming back to secure the possession. Here's Sadie in space. Sadie makes the move. Sadie threads it through. Tyler settles it down. Tyler still with it. Ball trickles over the line.
Jordan Tyler with a couple of heavy touches. If he had taken either of his first 2 touches cleanly, he'd have spun and come in.
And a yellow card has been issued, I believe.
And from the looks of it, it is against AFC Ann Arbor's number 6, Sam Suzette.
And that happened away from the play. So I did not get a chance to see what happened.
And I know you have the names of our officials, but after the yellow card, a very long talking to.
It's Kerry Williams, the lead official. Carlos Leyva and Nate Hegarty as well. Nick Balser, the 4th official.
See, and here City, they're willingly taking it back to Pena, and that allowed, look, and you don't see it in the shot, but AFC Ann Arbor's back line immediately up at the 30-yard line of the football field.
Next 15 minutes of play brought to you by Phoenix House, the official building partner of Detroit City FC.
Half an hour gone, 60 minutes of normal time left. If we're tied at the end of regulation, it's 30 minutes of extra time and then penalties.
Which you are a staunch supporter of.
Clearly.
And you love it.
Best
and you think it's the best way to decide a game in sports today.
Clearly, best thing in sports ever is to completely and totally change the game. I prefer the shootout in the NHL more than I prefer penalties. And I think the shootout in the NHL is an abomination.
Maybe working a home run derby to settle tie baseball games?
Oh, God. You're going to try to make me lose my cookies, aren't you?
So now you're starting to tell, everybody. You're watching at home. Now you're starting to tell. There's a Midwest Regional Championship on the line here tonight. There is juice in this building. Starting to get a little chippy, a little chatty out there on the field.
See, Omarston, whoa, my word. Fernando Pena made a cardinal mistake there. He came out to play that ball and misplayed it.
Well, hopped high on him. There's no doubt about it. Lucky for him, though, there was only one AFC and Arbor player in the vicinity.
If you're going to come out that far, you better be darn sure you can claim that ball. And that, thankfully, for City faithful, went away from any danger. And that's a foul. Yep.
Stephen Carroll was thrown to the ground like a Greco-Roman wrestler by Caleb Jackson.
And frankly, the referees on it. These referees all are assigned by U.S. Soccer and the NPSL, and they come from farther and farther away as the playoffs go on. So you're going to see better and better officials, and there was actually an official observer here last night from U.S. Soccer evaluating their conduct. So it's taken very seriously, and better people are put in charge of these matches the further we go in the NPSL playoffs, powered by Miter.
We have an update on that yellow card. Matthew Brame, the offending party. Yellow giving for rough play.
Which might have been an understatement.
I did not see it, so I cannot judge.
I'm going on balance of work so far here in the first 32 minutes. We've got a replay of, I believe, the instance that drew the yellow card.
We will get a look at it when we get an opportunity. And well, now probably looks like a good opportunity. Brame, number 14.
Coming in there.
Right there. Player was taken down.
And then a little punch and grab. Yeah, just kind of getting in people's kitchens.
Here comes City again with a hopeful ball. Being sent up for Jordan Tyler. Nobody on the other end of it. There's Roddy Green trying to gain possession. Instead of the throw, and will go to the mighty Elk. If AFC Ann Arbor wins, they will host. There is no mystery about that. The national semifinal coming up next weekend. Detroit City FC with a victory, they could host. They get some hope, or get some help along the way. Of course, we still have 50-plus minutes, and here comes an opportunity. Jordan Tyler into the box. Tyler, right-footed shot, and the save is made by TJ Tomaso as he pops up confidently and checks the fit of the keeper's glove.
Tyler coming in, and I think he might have wanted to take a step inside, but he had a defender there waiting, so he had to take the short angle shot, and that allowed the Tomaso to use the post as a defender and make the save.
So here's Tyrone Mondi again. Another corner opportunity. Can't keep giving Tyrone Mondi a
I take a corner, and I remember the previous one, I hit it too close to the goalkeeper, and one of the defenders cleared it. And I thought, hey, let me just try and overhit this one, but I overhit it too much. But luckily, to my surprise and to my luck, Zach was there at the back post and redirected the ball back into the box. And Jordan was just standing there in front of the goalkeeper, and it fell nicely, and he just had to tap it into the back of the net. So it was a very good team goal. We had a couple of opportunities before this, but it was also very good that we converted one of them this early on in the game to at least give us a little bit of breathing space. And I remember we nicked the ball from them, from one of their players, from a throw-in, and we immediately went on the counter-attack. And I remember the ball went to Roddy, and I saw some space behind the defenders, and I thought, hey, let's just make a run in behind the defenders, at least to give Roddy a little bit more time on the ball. But he eventually played it to me over the top, and I made a run for it. And one of the defenders that was running next to me actually tried to clear the ball, but he missed it completely, and it hit his arm. So we got a foul. We got awarded a free kick right on the edge of the box. And obviously, we know Omar stepped up and put the ball in the back of the net. He placed it at the bottom left-hand corner, precision. Very good free kick taker he was, and he was our free kick specialist at the time. I remember a funny story is that Omar used to stay behind after every single practice, hitting knuckleballs and showing us that he could take free kicks from anywhere. And I remember the day before I told him, I said, hey Omar, I'm gonna win you a free kick on the edge of the box, and you have to take it because you've been taking these things in practice every day. So it's now time for you to step up. And even in the semi-final, he scored one that was pretty similar to this one, but it was just a matter of time that we started converting these, and he started converting these because he was taking them every day in practice, so he had to step up.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
When we face adversity, we find a way through it. It's about taking care of each other. It's the small parts that make a big difference. At Chevy, we promise to do ours. We're offering Chevy owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services and Wi-Fi data. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free financing for 84 months with deferred payments for 120 days on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home. It's just our way of doing our part.
Back to historic Keyworth Stadium, 2-0 to score. Detroit City FC with some magic right before the halftime break. And let's take a look at the Metro PCS halftime report. Get a look at some of the numbers and the particulars from the first 45 minutes of play. And John, as we look at these numbers, the thing that jumps out to me is not even on that screen right now. Fernando Pena, the man of the hour. AFC and Arbor had a couple cracks at scoring first. They didn't. Detroit City FC took full advantage.
Absolutely. Those 4 saves should have a star and a circle around them because Fernando Pena kept City in the match and allowed for the 2 goals to happen and allowed for his team to take a lead. If it wasn't for a couple of great positioning on a couple of shots, it's an entirely different game.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes of play. There's a look at the hardware that's up for grabs here tonight. Detroit City FC had the best early opportunity as Zach Bach sent a header over top of the crossbar. But here we go. Fernando Pena takes over on this sequence right here. 2 tremendous saves that kept AFC Ann Arbor off the board. And Detroit City FC would come back and take advantage. Omar Sinclair, that was a bit of foreshadowing on that free kick attempt there as he missed the left corner. Keep an eye on that and remember that, because a little bit later on we see something else to that effect. That guy Jordan Tyler with an early opportunity, but there Tyler found the back of the net off the Tyrone Mondi corner, and that gave Detroit City FC the lead by the score of 1-0. So fast forward here, Omar Sinclair fools everybody in the building, goes to the right side on an opportunity to free kick off a blatant handball. And that is the difference right now, 2-0 the score. That man, Omar Sinclair, did the deed. His right foot has been a weapon this entire playoff tournament. So AFC Ann Arbor right now, John, fighting for their lives. They're down by 2. They're in one of the most hostile environments in American soccer. And that man, Eric Rudlin, and his squad only have 45 minutes to make it right.
You know what? AFC Ann Arbor can do that. But right now, they've got to get inside City's head again. They've got to play physical again. And they got to find a way to solve the riddle that is Fernando Pena.
The next 15 minutes of action brought to you by Metro PCS, the official wireless provider of Detroit City FC. There again.
That's a flop.
Jordan Tyler in the mix as TJ Tomaso will have the goal kick.
Matthew Brain felt a little contact and then decided, well, if it worked for somebody else, I'm going to go over. That is entirely about getting in the referee's head again, insinuating that Detroit City FC was doing some diving earlier and just making people think. There's more gamesmanship in this sport than a lot of people give it credit for. There's a little bit of that.
TJ Tomaso puts the boot to it. Tomaso signed a developmental contract at one time with the New England Revolution. 8 clean sheets this year for Tomaso.
Look at Breitmeyer running. Sorry to cut you off there, Neil. I thought Breitmeyer was going to pick that off.
Now there's Matthew Brame. Long, hopeful ball sent in, and there's a shove in the back by Caleb Jackson, as that was a very apparent foul. So, John, we see right away in the beginning, AFC Ann Arbor, and this is something new to them. When you're 12-1-1 during the regular season, and you've given up 9 goals, you're not used to being down by multiple goals. So we will see something maybe we haven't seen from AFC Ann Arbor right now, how they respond being down by 2.
Well, you wonder how long, because they're keeping their same shape, and they're keeping the same system for now. I have a feeling the team talk from Eric Rudland was a lot of trust the process and go out and do what you know you can do. But at some point, you're going to have to chase the game, and you're going to have to see the defensive-minded set that has gotten AFC Ann Arbor to this point change. You're going to have to see the midfielders come forward. You're going to have to see the fullbacks that don't normally come forward and venture too far up the pitch come up and try to create some chances. And that's going to create some holes if DCFC can exploit them.
That ball trickles over the line, so a throw-in coming for City as Troy Watson will toss it back in. There's also in the screen a look at Jeff Peja, the brand manager for the NPSL. He is here on hand tonight. He will be presenting the Midwest Region Final Championship trophy for the winning side.
Ushered out. Kyle Breitmeyer thought it should have been an Ann Arbor throw. Instead it's given to City, and Ben Pierman doing gymnastics on the touchline, telling his players to get forward. And Roddy Green completely misjudges a ball.
Had to get a flick on there. Now it's Bakey Goodman. Boy, nice touch from Bakey Goodman off to Omar Sinclair. Sinclair on the move. Mondi in space. Sends it across. Roddy Green will get on the end of it.
And that was Roddy Green knowing the Keyworth pitch. He let that ball run to him. And the AFC Ann Arbor player over-pursued.
Official says play on, so Tendai Jiraiya does exactly that. Breitmeyer the target. Breitmeyer on the move. He's cut off, and that ball is escorted out of bounds by Zach Bach. So a tremendous defensive play by number 14.
A tremendous play, and goal kick as well for City. I thought maybe the way Fernando Pena came over and dove in front of it that he might have seen a touch. Thankfully, the assistant referee didn't. And City able to punt it clear and reset.
Uraira settles it down, and Tendai Uraira was a name we called a lot yesterday in the match against Dayton. We have not said his name a heck of a lot here tonight so far.
City can't go back to being tentative. They need to play with the assertiveness that they did for the final 20 minutes of the first half, because if you start playing tentative and putting players behind the ball, that's not the way this City team is built. And with Ann Arbor's pace, problems can happen. It's the football equivalent of a prevent defense, and you know what happens with a prevent defense. Oftentimes prevents winning. So City need to continue to play their game. They don't want to give up the big home run, but they need to keep doing what got them here for at least the next 20 minutes till you get to the final quarter of this match.
TJ Tomaso sends it out. And here's James Vaughn, the hero last night. Does Ann Arbor have any more heroes left? They will take one. They are down 2-0 now in the 51st minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along. Extra special hello to those of you watching on FoxSportsDetroit.com. Also, hello to everybody watching on the live stream app, or Roku, or whatever television device you consume your media on. And now, let's go to our weekly trivia presented by Fago. Tonight's question: which was the last team from the Midwest region to win the NPSL National Championship? I'll let you marinate on that for a few minutes. Get you the answer in just a little bit. That ball punched out by Fernando Pena and then cleared out by Cyrus Sadie.
And that was a great clearance. Cyrus took a risky clearance attempt. If he had missed the ball and connected with a player, would have been a penalty for sure, but Cyrus knows what he's doing.
Dave Edwardson, a nice defensive play. Sinclair unable to receive that pass, but the ball goes out at midfield.
Neil, you know, I've been a broadcaster for about 20 years, and I've been in some pretty high-pressure situations. I don't know I've ever seen an atmosphere like I've seen tonight here at Keyworth, and I don't know that I've seen a supporter section with more investment or energy than the Northern Guard. The energy is coming across this pitch in waves, and I guarantee you LaRouge are feeding off of it.
I'd like to extend a big hello to Ollie and Cass, watching City from up north. Both of them love Detroit City FC. They also played in the Detroit PAL League. So a big hello to Ollie and Cass watching up north. We appreciate you checking in. Cyrus Sadie turns with it.
Look at Cyrus win that ball and then deliver a great ball for Omar if he can get there.
Sinclair does. Back to Cyrus Sadie, at least he wanted to. He hasn't yet. Ball still at his feet. Now it's tapped out and throwing for AFC Ann Arbor. Omar Sinclair not pleased with the work. Kerry Williams, the referee.
What a step
There's
in.
A giveaway. And here comes Jordan Tyler. Left side Mondi, the cross, and that shot actually will go into the side of the net.
And you might say, why is he taking that shot from that angle? Well, first of all, he scored from about 5 feet further out last night. But second of all, and this was a nice job by Sam Zizette, look at him step in and deny the cross. Coming across, Zizette with a great slide in there. And so Mondi knew the only chance he had was to lash and hope, because Zizette got in good position, and right there with him was James Vaughn.
I think originally Mondi did want to go to the cross. As he looked up, you saw him as he received that ball. Looked across to see exactly what was going on, but as you said, Sam Zizette closes the door. Jesse Musquay coming in, Quincy Allen coming in. So now,
and you missed
the first substitutions of the evening for AFC Ann Arbor.
The biggest one was Alec Lasinski came on.
Yep.
Number 8, the first sub, and this game just changed. Because Alec Lasinski knows how to play on this pitch. He knows how to run on this pitch. And the last time he came in with 53 minutes on the clock, he scored a brace before we hit 70 minutes.
I didn't miss it. I was trying to build it up.
Aha.
Yeah, that's what it was. But
All
speaking
right.
of build up, Sean Lawson into the game now for Detroit City FC. So Eric Rudlin goes to his bench. And Pierman goes to his bench. 55th minute, 2-0 is the story. City with the lead. So we'll see how this changes things. Jarira making the turn, now moving through midfield. Good ball from Tendai Jarira. Jakey Goodman. Stop that pass, and Sean Lawson has it. Lawson across for Jordan Tyler. Tyler between the legs. Oh, how about that move he pulled on Jake Roof? And Cyrus Sadie taken down in the midfield.
That's going to be a booking.
And the yellow card has been issued. And that intent was for no other reason but to take Cyrus Sadie to the turf. And that picture tells the whole story. So Jake Roof goes in the book with a yellow.
He goes with the foul, and then absolutely dangerous play. And a deserved booking, and then AFC and Arbor with a little petulance after the play.
Zach Bach will stand over it. Lots of options here. As far as where he can go with it. Cyrus Sadie's a good target on that right side if he wants to. Sadie comes back to it. Instead, Bach will sweep it over to Stephen Carroll. City has earned the right here to be deliberate with their attack.
And look at Alec Lazinski already running at the ball. Once that back pass came in, Lazinski was on the center back. That's going to happen all night.
Sinclair stepping through. Oh, good ball to Tyrone Mondi on the left side. Mondi stepping over. His cross into the middle. And boy, Jordan Tyler almost had it go. Dave Edwardson trickle a shot towards the left post. TJ Tomaso will go over to send in the goal kick. 57th minute. Boy, how about these moves from Tyrone Mondi? Jordan Tyler right on the doorstep.
So close, and yet so far. And then Dave Edwardson sends a lash and hope.
A third goal from City could be a knockout blow. Both these teams played 90 minutes of soccer last night. Tomaso sends that one up ahead. Jesse Musquet has it. He's the man of the match in their win over Grand Rapids back on May 30th. AFC Ann Arbor's looking for a man of the match right now.
Much more deliberate on the ball, Musquet.
No question. Musquet has it. Everton over the challenge. Nice two-man game. Musquet has it at his feet. Dave Edwardson, the captain, takes it away and turns and burns it. Vaughn sends it right back in. Here's Caleb Jackson. Roof. Sinclair closes the door and sends it over the line. Another substitution coming for Detroit City. Tyler Moorman comes into the game.
I think Jordan Tyler's night is done.
And you got a good 57+ minutes from Jordan Tyler, and he will get a standing ovation from the fans here at Keyworth. A goal tonight as Moorman runs onto the field. A high five from the head coach Ben Pierman and the rest of the DCFC coaching staff.
Sean-Claude Lawson out there getting some direction.
And don't sleep on Sean Lawson either. He's in that spot where he's most effective up there on the front. He's more than capable of putting this game to bed on his own as well.
And when Moorman came in, he pointed at Lawson and said, "Get up there." So that's Ben Pierman moving Lawson to where he belongs.
And there's a through ball to Lawson on the run, and Tomaso closes out and keeps AFC Ann Arbor alive for now.
That was the ultimate sweeper keeper move. Feast or famine, risk, reward, and he got it.
How about that through ball from Cyrus Sadie?
Feathery touch. That's what Cyrus does. And then he tracks back the other way and wins the ball defensively. Tell me that guy doesn't have a heart 5 sizes too big for his body.
Absolute magician. 60th minute.
Nice step in front there by Bach to deny Lasinski.
Edwardson sends it over the top. Tyrone Mondi sends Zet. Tracking back, will play it ahead. Then Thornton turns with it. And it is again to Jake Roof. Roof, the Gatorade High School Player of the Year in Alabama back in 2014. Played 1 year of soccer at Indiana. Plays for Western Michigan. And a foul will go against Dave Edwardson. Dave Edwardson is not at all enthused.
And he shouldn't. He should be upset because, and a good job by the official to bring back the free kick, but they've got the ball. Unless he's calling something I didn't see before the play, and they're bringing the free kick back further. So it might have been an attempt to play advantage, and once advantage was lost, the free kick was given.
James Vaughn with the right boot, sends it up towards the box. It's headed away. Caleb Jackson was the target, and there's Alec Lasinski turning with it and crossing it in, and that ball played out.
That is quality center back play. Something floats in toward you, send it out for a throw, hit the reset button.
Throw-in comes all the way in. It scoots all the way through the box and out of play. And just to back things up a little bit, partner John Krieger talking about letting them play the advantage. If you're new to soccer and you wanted to check out tonight what this Detroit City FC thing is all about, that's essentially letting the delayed offside go.
Yep.
More or less.
That's exactly what it is.
They put it in hockey terms.
It's also, if you want to put it in football terms, throwing a penalty flag and waiting to see for the outcome of the play. You got a guy that jumped offside and they play the play and then you see the result. That's what happens there. City center backs looking. Now that's a, did they call a foul? He might play it. Cyrus Sadie's down.
That ball served into the box, and it goes just wide of the left post. Caleb Jackson with a dangerous opportunity. Cyrus Sadie is down. Next 15 minutes of play are brought to you by Rip It, the official energy drink of Detroit City FC. Let's take a look at just how close that opportunity was for Caleb Jackson.
He didn't miss by much, and it's because Cyrus blew a tire, and that allowed AFC Ann Arbor to get on the ball, and Cyrus holding his shin.
Sadie will be helped to his feet.
Cyrus says, I don't need the medic. I'm going to walk this off.
Cyrus Sadie, it's going to take more than that.
Oh, look at Lasinski challenging Carroll, forcing that.
2017 NPSL Midwest Region Final up for grabs. It's going to take more than that to get Cyrus Sadie off the pitch. Tyler Moorman taking up space, finds Bakey Goodman. Cyrus Sadie almost had an opportunity to step through. AFC Ann Arbor looking to counter. There's Quessy Allen. Instead turning with it, Jesse Musquay. Dave Edwardson, the captain, takes it back.
But Dave Edwardson, the captain, took it back because Bakey Goodman forced the half touch. And that's proving your praise from the first half was justified. That was all Bakey Goodman and his physical but clean play that allowed Dave Edwardson to step in on a less than pacey ball.
Ball goes out in front. Omar Sinclair. Let's take a look at the upcoming games. Of course, the annual friendly against Windsor on August 2nd at 7:30 right here, Keyworth Stadium. It's always a good time, the annual friendly match against Windsor. Will that close out the season of action at Keyworth Stadium? That we do not know the answer to. Long ball served ahead, Ann Arbor. Tendai Juraira trying to go on the move with it. Instead it's Roof. Jackson back to Roof. Vaughn. Brame. Ira to Brame. Long ball sent in, and that will scoot over the line for a goal kick. And now let's get you the answer to our weekly trivia question presented by Fago. This week's question: which was the last team from the Midwest region to win the NPSL National Championship? AFC Cleveland did it last year. Back in 2016, they won 4-2 over the Sonoma County Seoul FC side. So the Midwest region, the NPSL, looking for the repeat here this season. They will have their representative in about 26 minutes and some change. Right now, City likes their chair in that game. They're up 2-0.
1/4 of normal time left, Neil. We just hit 65 minutes on the clock at Keyworth Stadium.
Jarira on the left side. Jarira turns towards the sideline. 3 men in rouge are over there with him. Oh, and Goodman is taken down, and that will be a booking, I believe, and it is a red. Plessy Allen has been shown a red card.
In the 65th minute, Arbor get awarded a red card for one of their players that went in kind of a reckless challenge on Bakey. His both feet were up and off the ground, and obviously that's deemed as a reckless challenge and worthy of a red card. And up to this point, Arbor were actually trying to get a hold of the game. We were sitting back a little bit more, giving them a little bit more time on the ball as we were trying to protect our lead. So with this happening now, it's going to change the whole dynamic of the game. We have one extra man, and we're a little bit superior in some areas of the field, so we can dictate the game a little bit more, the pace of the game, and manage it a little bit better.
All day and twice on Sunday. That's brutal. And you have the gumption to complain about that to the officials? Off you go, son. That's dirty.
And there was no doubts about it from Kerry Williams. He went right to the pocket and got the red. So AFC Ann Arbor already trailing 2-0, now down to 10 men.
That's, you know what, if anybody from AFC Ann Arbor has a problem with that referee, with either the referee or that red card, they have a serious misunderstanding of the laws of the game. That was heinous.
The ball's headed out of play. So Detroit City now really likes their chair in the game. 68th minute, 2-0. They have a man advantage the rest of the way.
But if I'm Ben Pierman, I'm reminding Detroit City that they came from 3-1 down with 10 men to draw Lansing United. So just because you have the man advantage doesn't mean you can switch off, because oftentimes you sit there, you have a 2-goal lead, 67 minutes on the clock, and you have a man advantage. You can switch off and say, you know what, we'll take this.
And now there's Sean Lawson, who trickles a shot to the right side of the frame.
They need to play like it's 11v11 and see this out, because now AFC Ann Arbor has nothing to lose. City with everything to gain in their first regional championship, 22 and change minutes away. But they have to play like it's nothing, and it's 11v11 with the same kind of spirit that got them here.
Tyrone Mondi with the challenge, and Mondi will be hit with the foul. Is he going to get a booking? The referee is reaching in the back pocket. No, he's not. Mondi hit with that foul. That was a deserved foul call, I thought.
Yep, absolutely. And you know what? He doesn't have a whole lot to complain about. He took it and ran back.
David Cross will check into the game, replacing Sam Zazette. So David Cross in. Had 5 game-winning goals last year at Drury College, which is good at any level. soccer you play. And this is what you will see probably the rest of the night from AFC Ann Arbor. A lot of long, hopeful balls. It's really the only card left in the deck for them. Down a man, down 2-0.
Sure, but the Detroit City FC center backs need to stay tight. Right now, it's not a good shape. They need to be up on a line with each other. Watson was a yard further back than the other three center backs, and that allowed number 11, or check it.
Number 11's in the shower.
Number 11's
right now.
in the shower. That allowed number 19, Jake Roof, to come forward.
Ross sends it in towards the box. Another high, hopeful ball. Moskwe and Lisinski meet, but Becky Goodman will find Sadie. How about that receive? Cyrus Sadie.
And then a beautiful ball, knowing the touch of the Keyworth pitch to reverse the field and let City come forward.
Mondi with two defenders on him. Sinclair tried to backheel it. Instead, AFC Ann Arbor now looking to try to counter, but it's 2v5 coming back. That ball was played out by Stephen Carroll. Sean Lawson the target. That ball headed away by David Cross. He was the last line of defense from Sean Lawson being in. An attempt to put the cakes on the griddle. That is where Detroit City sits. Long ball served in towards the box. Headed up in the air by Zach Bach.
Good quality clearance to the side, did pop it up. Got it out of the area. And Cyrus Sadie just slowing things down, looking for the deliberate pass and controlling the ball. And a great 1-2 with Becky Goodman through.
And here's Tyrone Mondi up the left side with Lawson stepping over, and the shot is blocked. By Jirira, trying to mount the counter, but Cyrus Sadie will escort him across midfield. 72nd minute. The clock, the enemy of AFC Ann Arbor, down by 2, down a man.
By the way, we have a rule here on the broadcast. If you tweet at us from an airplane, you go to the top of the line, and that's Christos Mikalis. He is somewhere over the United States, watching on an airplane, and he wants to send a shout out to a friend watching in Brooklyn, NYC.
Although for future reference, Christos, we do need a picture. So if you can go ahead and provide that picture.
We'll get that done.
We need to see it. Zach Bach plays that one up ahead.
And then blew a tire.
That ball's played through the middle. Moskwe was on the move with a head of steam, and now the ball will be gassed down the field.
That's what you got to do. Send it down, make everybody reset. 72 minutes gone, 18 and change left. And the energy has ratcheted up inside Keyworth. The Wolfpack on the other side, that is the Northern Guard, can smell it.
And Alex Lisinski went right through the back of Troy Watson, and he will be hit with the foul. And again, it's all they got left, John. Down a man, down 2-0, down to their last 18 minutes.
Hope praying foul.
Yep.
Well, for Alec Lisinski, this is personal. He was a Detroit City FC player, made the choice not to return to Le Rouge this year. Went to AFC Ann Arbor. In a piece with the news media, he cited the reason is that it was closer because he plays his college ball in Ann Arbor. But he was a player wearing the other kit last year at this time and made the choice to jump one of the more hostile divides in the NPSL.
It may be closer, but right now it's further away from a regional championship.
Very nice, my friend. And
74th minute, 2-0 City with a man advantage. Brame with it. As the crowd grows more and more intense with every ticking second. That shot with the right foot.
That had more on it.
The pace surprised Fernando Pena, certainly surprised me, but he did make the stop. There's Troy Watson with it. Cross settles it down. Here's Cyrus Sadie. Nutmeg between the legs.
And kept it. Oh, and he didn't keep it in play. I thought he kept that in play there for a minute.
I wanted him to keep it in play because I just wanted to see what was going to happen.
And that's how you know you're a good player, Neil. When people want to see things happen for you because they want to see what you'll do.
What you're going to do. The disclaimer I always say about Cyrus Sadie, it's a lot of fun to call his games all season long. He is just a magical player. The ball at his feet. Terrific career at Michigan State. Drives in from Lansing for the matches. Doesn't get the opportunity to train all that much. But you can't tell.
No, he's a wizard out there for Detroit City FC.
Caleb Jackson the target, but again, just a long, hopeful ball.
Nice take from behind.
Jariro's on the move. Jariro with the shot. He finds the back of the net. So AFC and Arbor not done yet here in the 75th minute.
Neil, City switched off. Jariro came. City was taking their
and Arbor get their first goal back through Tendai. It was actually it's actually a funny story now that he plays for Detroit. Yeah, at this point we were already taking our foot off the gas a little bit, knowing that they got a red card, knowing that we're superior in numbers in certain positions, and we started relaxing a little bit too much, and they got the front foot. They played 3 in the back. They pushed numbers forward to allow them to have more pressure on the ball when they lost it, to push numbers forward to try and get a goal. And eventually it paid off. Unfortunately, you know, Dave tried to clear the ball. The ball was spinning, and then Tendai came out of nowhere and took the ball from him and just ran past Carroll and then sneaked the ball in right in at the front post. And this whole goal just changed the dynamic of the whole game. Now we were back at trying to play to catch up with the game again, and Arbor had momentum now. So. But yeah, we just took our foot off the gas a little bit too much.
AFC Ann Arbor made a number of changes to their starting 11.
Tyler Mortman
that they were able to bring on as a substitute. City made 1 change. So you got guys that are having to go 180 minutes in 24 hours.
Tyrone Mondi, I believe, is down, and the medical staff will come on onto the field. You don't like to see the medical staff jump up like that. It's always better when they're summoned.
I want to say hello to some people on Twitter that have been tweeting in using the hashtag WatchCity. Go ahead.
And as always, Henry Ford Health Systems, the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC.
I don't think we've said hello to him yet. Andy Davis in San Diego, California. Or Andy in San Diego, California, watching tonight. NGS Quad Cities checking in. By the way, I want to say hello to the DCFC DC Embassy. They are watching at the Ivy and Coney tonight in Washington, D.C.
Mondi's still down. And now he risen up, not laying on the turf anymore. And there's Ben Pierman, who wishes he could snap his fingers and take 13 minutes off of time.
So we're going to have some stoppage time here today with the injury break. Tyrone Mondi will have to come off because medical attention was summoned for him.
And there's a look at it. And he took a shot in the coconut. So as you said, Mondi will have to come out for a bit of time, and there's a look at Ben Pierman. What's going on in his body right now? He has the look of calm, cool, and collected.
He's anything but.
Those insides right now are anything but calm, cool, and collected.
Ben Pierman is doing his best duck impression right now. You see a duck gliding across the water. They look all calm and peaceful, and under the water, the legs are moving. I have a feeling that's kind of what Caesar's feeling at the moment.
So Mondi comes out. So for a few moments anyway, we'll be 10 on 10.
I still would like to see a tighter shape from City center backs right now. There's another long ball going for the middle, and it's headed on.
That ball will trickle over the sideline. Next 15 minutes of play brought to you by Strategic Staffing Solutions, sponsor of the S3 Beer Garden at Keyworth Stadium and the DCFC International Series.
Throw in coming from City. Tyrone Mondi back on the pitch. Good to see.
Mondi is back, got that right arm bandaged up. He has been through the wars, here to say tonight.
Another hoof job. City will have another throw. And they're perfectly happy with that. Thank you very much.
They will take that for another 11 minutes plus. Rolling flicked on to Tyrone Mondi, and he makes the turn. Mondi on the move into the box. Tried to go with the back heel over top of the defender.
And he blew a tire.
Here comes Musquay. Drops it back, and Bakey Goodman steps up. And there's Cyrus Sadie to take it away. Sadie turns with it. Cyrus Sadie has it played away. Long ball through to Alec Lasinski, and he's in. Left-footed shot, finds the back of the net, and we are level at 2. Alec Lasinski.
In the 80th minute, just 5 minutes after they scored another goal, and this one was like kind of the final nail in the coffin that kind of gave us a little bit of a wake-up call. Sai has the ball in the midfield, and one of their players wins it off of him and plays a ball in behind our defenders and their strikers there. And he does a very good job of just taking the ball off of his chest across the body of the defender, because if he fouls him, it's a penalty, and he does a very good job of that. And then he just smashes it across the goal and in the far post, and that was actually a pretty good goal from their standpoint. And now that they have had momentum, they're playing with more eagerness to win this game. And it was just a pity that we took our foot off the gas a little bit too much here. But from their point, this was a very good goal. They showed a lot of hunger, a lot of tenacity to come back from 2-0 down. A lot of teams would have given up already, but you know, AFC and Arbor is one of those teams that you can't just play them, and even if you're leading, you have to understand that you have to play till the final whistle. And we kind of learned this the hard way.
And this is what you worry about. City was playing brilliant football until that red card happened. And when you have a 2-goal lead and you're a man up, just like Lansing United 2 weeks ago on this patch, there's something that creeps into the heads of players. The old "we got this now" bug. And AFC Ann Arbor's been the better team since.
Here comes Cyrus Sadie up the left side. Sadie puts on the brakes to the middle. Bakey Goodman. Tyrone Mondi taken down in the midfield, and a yellow card will be issued.
And I'll tell you what, one step further, and that might have been a red. Because one step further, and he would have been in, and it could have been deemed a professional foul.
James Vaughn will get the card.
But he knew what he was doing.
Oh, there's no question about that.
Let's take a look here.
And it was worth a yellow card.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't, Mondi's in alone.
And Tyrone was asking for it too.
A little bit deeper than usual for Omar Sinclair, but he's been magic in these types of situations. City still playing with the man advantage. Sinclair standing over. Here we go. Sinclair, right foot, will go over top of the crossbar, just couldn't get it to dip. The keeper, Tommaso, was on top of it anyway.
You know what, and that's just the product of it being that far out. That's a different kind of ball than needing to get it up and down quickly, because if you get it up and down quickly, the keeper has it. So you're trying to get it to dip just under the bar. That's actually a much tougher free kick to kind of take than even a bending.
As we all know, funny thing about this game was that we all know that it was a rivalry between Ann Arbor and Detroit City FC, and this game had a lot of stakes in it. It had a lot of pride, a lot of bragging rights that depended on it. Bear in mind, they beat us twice in the regular season, home and away, so they had the bragging rights, and we wanted to get one up on them from the standpoint that they at least we could win one game that actually counted the most. And we came into this game hungry, and as you could see, we scored 2 early goals, but later on complacency took place and they came back, and it just shows the character of both teams, you know, having a competitive spirit within them and just fighting till the end. And Ann Arbor is a very difficult team to play against because their coach is a very good coach, and he's a tactician, and he knew some of the places to break us down. He knew what our weak points were, and they had a very good team. And even now with 10 men, they, after scoring the 2 goals to equalize the game, they have a lot of confidence, and it feels like, when I look at this game, it feels like we were the ones that were down 10 men. They had so much confidence in possession, so much confidence in the way they played with even a man down, and it just showed you the quality of the team that we were playing against.
Detroit City FC. As the cell phone lights come out, as is tradition, and the 85th minute expires. Everything on the line. 2-2 the score. City led 2-0 at halftime. AFC Ann Arbor went down a man, down 2-0, and have fought their way back to level this match. So it is 11 v 10 as we cross into the 87th minute. The Midwest Regional Championship up for grabs here in the NPSL, a spot in the Final Four. The national tournament. Omar Sinclair taken down.
86th minute now as Omar gets up, and already look at Lazinski running right back at the center backs. Zach Bach and Stephen Carroll seem to think that somehow when a center back has the ball, the striker won't run at you. Alec Lazinski is running all night, and there have been a couple of forced passes because of it.
Omar Sinclair has that ball just cross over the line. There's a look at the Northern Guard.
Popping some smoke and some flares. Having a good old time, and if City were to score again, they would go absolutely mental, as one of their chants says, along with some other language. City again with the back passes, and the back passes have not been tight. And see, there is Lazinski running right back at Bach. And Bach then sends the hopeful ball. City not playing like the team up a man. They're playing like the team down a man in what they're doing with the ball at the moment.
Sadie through the middle. Edwardson back to Sadie. Trying to find Sean Lawson. Right away at the last moment. Troy Watson steps in front to pop that ball away, and Sadie comes away with it. Cyrus Sadie taken to the turf. Official says play on, so Dave Edwardson does. And he has it, moving to the right side. Edwardson with the cross, looking for Sean Lawson, who lost his footing. Makey Goodman will track this ball down, however, and gives it away. And here comes a counter opportunity for AFC Ann Arbor. Just out of the reach of Alec Lazinski,
who was going the opposite way and in trying to turn, lost his footing, and Cyrus Sadie's down again. It looks like a cramp.
Taken down from behind is Tyler Moorman. And this time the whistle does sound. So Cyrus Sadie down on the turf. These guys have played a lot of soccer over the last 2 nights as we cross into the 89th minute. Cyrus Sadie.
At this point, it's like the 90th minute now, and I remember going to Ben at like the 85th minute or so, and I went up to him and I said, Ben, I can't go no more. My legs are finished, because the day before we played a semi-final, I think I played like 90 minutes or so, and I go up to him and he asked me, he said, hey Tyrone, how many minutes do you have left? I said, Ben, I have 5. He's like, okay, go back and do whatever you can, do as much as you can in 5 minutes. And to my surprise, you know how coaches are, they don't take you out when they don't feel like taking you out. And I remember going back in and I was playing, and I look at the clock, I'm like, he said 5 minutes. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me just play, maybe something will happen. And at the 90th minute, we hear plus 6 minutes of stoppage time, and we're like, snap. Because I'm taking into consideration the interest of the team, because if there's something I cannot contribute and someone else with fresh legs can bring something, a different dynamic to the team, anything can happen. But to my surprise, Ben was a tactician of his own. I went to him and said, Ben, I'm super tired. He's like, yeah, just give me 5 more minutes of your time. That 5 more minutes ended up being 10 more minutes, and it was crazy actually how sometimes you mustn't give up even if you're tired. That's exactly where things start to fall into place. And we'll see eventually as the game goes on, right at the death of it, we score a goal. And all contribution and all thanks and all gratitude to the players that contributed their efforts to making us achieve our goal that season.
Through, he's got some space. Stephen Carroll crosses over, and Carroll has it taken away at the last moment. Here comes a counter opportunity. Jake Rufus on the move.
With one of the center backs up, and a nice job by Jean-Claude Lawson to track back and disrupt the passing lane. Because Stephen Carroll was up in the attacking third, and the turnover and the counter was quick. And
6 minutes of stoppage time.
Because of course.
Absolutely. Ricky Goodman taking down. The official calls the foul. So Goodman with a quick restart to Cyrus Sadie. AFC and Arbor stopped for a second. But Goodman got it cooking early.
And that's Cyrus being a little bit tired there. That touch, his normal feathery touch, wasn't there.
How about Alec Lasinski, man? He's a man possessed. Dave Everton takes it away from him. Sends it up to Mondi.
Who wasn't expecting it.
Ricky Goodman will be called for that foul. Matthew Brame on the ground.
Unbelievable play here. Watch this. Oops, oops, whoops. There you go. Bye.
Some chicanery there from the captain, Dave Edwardson. So, John, how did things change now? You're in stoppage time. If you're AFC Ann Arbor, you're down a man. Your goal is to get the penalties.
Well, your goal is to right now, your goal is to keep the momentum up. I would normally say your goal is to get the penalties. You're absolutely right. But the way AFC Ann Arbor is playing, they think they can win this. Because they've taken the momentum. Their passes are crisper. They're a little fresher because of the subs they were able to make. And City hasn't used that man advantage to their advantage. So right now, you're right. Normally, I would say AFC Ann Arbor wants to go, but for 6 minutes, they're going to go all out and see what they can get.
Sean Lawson with the takeaway. Lawson with some moves over midfield. That ball goes all the way and finds Mormon on the right side, working one-on-one. Mormon trying to step through, and that ball will be touched out.
Corner?
Corner, I believe. No, they will give the goal kick.
Tight decision.
Let's take another look at it. And
yes,
it was the right call.
Good call.
So we roll on in stoppage time. 2 15-minute extra time sessions. No golden goal. That is not sufficient. We'll then go to penalties. That ball sent through, and Fernando Pena up off the line. And leads Stephen Carroll.
Carroll needs to move this ball and get it off his foot and get back.
Sean Lawson, right side Mormon. Once again, Mormon Sends it towards the back post, looking for Sean Lawson. Becky Goodman settles it down. Mondi with the right foot. It's in the back of the net. Tyrone Mondi, of course.
Yes! What a goal from Tyrone Mondi. He's done it again. Mighty Mouse saves the day and maybe the region championship.
And at this point, I'm just saying, hey man, let's just try and get it. And Steve passes it to Sean. Sean eventually gets it out to Tyler. Tyler tries to cross the ball back to Sean at the back post, and the defender heads it back to Becky. And fortunately, when the ball went to Becky, one of the defenders wanted to go press him. But in pressing him, when he got halfway through there, when he got halfway to Becky, he realized that, hey, I can't press fully because Tyrone is behind me. And when I noticed that he went, I just pulled away at the back post, slightly just to make a little bit of space for me, and I called the ball. When the ball went to Becky, I called for it. I said, hey, Bakes! And he headed it to me, and it fell perfectly. At that point, I was just like, I just need to hit it. And luckily for me, the first thing was that I hit it, but I didn't hit it clean, and it hit straight into the ground, and it bounced up. And then a defender came and kind of gave it a little bit of a deflection, a tiny deflection, and went in. And from there, the rest is history. We're crowned champions, and this game brings back fun memories. And till this day, every time I watch this clip, I get goosebumps just watching it, you know. And it summed off a very good season that we had.
This is going to be hoof and hope.
And
there it is.
The story. Vaughn sends it ahead.
And no
Popped
Doug
right
Flutie
back.
there. Here's another.
Be popped back again. And it's cleared out towards midfield one more time. The bounce, and it goes out.
And the city rule is kick it far as soon as you get your boot on it. Get it out of there. Hoof.
That ball sent up towards midfield and out of play.
Hoof it.
Now, Becky Goodman will pop it high in the air. Sean Lawson plays it over.
There's a Keyworth bounce. Shiwi needs to get it out of there.
Shiwi eliminated from being on his feet. And now it's getting real chippy out there, and the official saw it right away. Dave Edwardson, the
City needs to
captain,
get out of there.
takes exception to it.
Red cards carry over. City needs to get out of there.
Fernando Pena comes in and just starts pulling his guys out, saying keep your eyes on the prize.
Yep. Remember, red cards carry over. A red card picked up here would count for the semifinals.
Just gave us the reassurance that we'll be crowned champions. And I remember right at the death of it, the game, Sean gets another opportunity, but Tyler plays the ball too wide for him, and there was no goalkeeper in goal, and right at the death of it, we could have scored another one, but I mean, it's said and done now, and we were crowned champions that year. It was a very good year. You know, the team had this family feeling about it. And, you know, every player that came contributed. Even though they think they contributed a little bit, they still contributed to the history of the team. You know, I can mention a lot of guys like Derek Otum. I can mention a few other guys that just now don't come to mind yet. But I'd like to say to them that they contributed to the special moment that the team actually eventually became crowned champions, you know. So I'm grateful for them, for the players that I could have played with, and I'm grateful for the team for giving us an opportunity to showcase our talents at that stage, that part of the year and that time of the year. So we'll always be indebted to DCFC for what they've done for us, and this game just was the cherry on top of the cake.
AFC and Arbor down to their final seconds. Seb Harris tries to clear it. Now it is played up towards midfield.
And Shiwi just running a ball, high ball in the air. Referee checked his watch once.
The whistle sounds and the Cakes. Oh no, that is not the
Foul.
whistle. The foul was called.
Everybody's coming forward. Tommaso coming forward. They're going to bomb this into the box, so it's 11 v 11 now. The keeper, Tommaso, and there's a yellow card for AFC Ann Arbor for trying to scoot the ball up for advantage.
So Vaughn sends it in towards the box. It's headed out, cleared into the air.
Still time.
Played up high again.
City need to take possession. There it is.
Played out towards midfield. It's a 2-on-1. Sean Lawson's ahead of the pack. There's no goalie in the cage. Lawson giving it everything he has. It's a 2-on-1 now. Lawson into the box. Wins the corner.
That should be enough. There it is.
The whistle sounds and the cakes are on the griddle. Detroit City FC, the 2017 NPSL Midwest champions.
Are you kidding me? Neil, this team is special. This team's performance tonight, except to say special and full of heart.
Tyrone Mondi in stoppage time. Propels Detroit City FC into the national semifinals.
Neil, this team started no wins, 2 draws, and a loss. There were people on social media questioning whether or not this team had the stuff. This team had the stuff and then some. They went on a 9-match streak in the regular season to get to the playoffs. And now at the 3rd time of asking, they've chopped the mighty oak down. They get their bite at the cherry the time it counts the most. And Detroit City Football Club is your Midwest Region champions, and we can say it for the first time in club history, are on their way to the national Final Four. In front of 6,400 and change, all of whom are part of a night they'll never forget. City were the better team when they took a 2-goal lead. They switched off when they went up a man. But when it counted, Tyrone Mondi, the man who could have left to head down to college training camp, but said, I want to stay and see this to the end, helped his club take a huge step to the end.
And now off to the side, Brett Mullen and James Rogers. Josh Rogers and Brett Mullen have the tub of Gatorade. And they're lurking right now. They are trying to creep on someone. And there they go, Klaus DeVore saying some words with Tunde Jarira and Tyrone Mondi. And I will say this, you have to give AFC Ann Arbor all the credit in the world. They were down 2-0. They were down a man, and they had no business being back in this game. But you look up as Caesar gets the shower. They had no business being in this game. But there they were at the end. They got it level. And they had a crack at winning this thing.
Well, my man of the match for AFC Ann Arbor is Alec Lisinski. He changed the game in the second half. He scored the equalizer. And he was the man asking a lot of questions. When the rest of his team was getting chippy, Alec Lisinski kept his head. He was really an anchor up front for AFC Ann Arbor and got us back to the point where we were 120 seconds away from extra time. And now Tyrone Mondi found another gear. I'll be honest, Neil, and I say it openly here, I wasn't sure DCFC had the petrol in the tank. Cyrus Sadie was going down, cramping up. The team had switched off down 2 goals. They looked a little leggy. The touches weren't there. AFC Ann Arbor was playing better soccer. And I wondered if the rigors of a season and having to play you're almost identical 11 for 3 of 24 hours, basically, 180 minutes. Was going to be too heavy an ask. And Tyrone Mondi said, no, I have a little left. And a great ball in, and a great stutter step, and a great goal, and a championship for a city and a supporter base that deserves it. You know, you said this on the Channel 7 Sports Cave with Justin Rose a while back. You said if you want to watch a playoff team in Detroit, DCFC is your team. Anybody that was here tonight will never doubt how special this club is for this city, and anyone who's watching us or will read the coverage that's coming in the next week will know this team beats with the heart of Detroit. And that heart is beating real strong right now.
Midwest Region Championship for Detroit City FC. They are on to the national semifinal. 3-2 over AFC Ann Arbor. And that team that was 0-1-2 at one point in the season. Now the champions of the region.
This is pretty amazing.
The Northern Guard right now celebrating just as much as anybody else. And they are ready to go, I believe, on the field with the awards presentations.
Representative from the NPSL here tonight.
Jeff Peja, the brand manager for the NPSL, is on the scene. He will hand out some hardware to both sides, and we will carry the ceremony for you live. And there is...
That's the finalist plate.
Yep. There's a look at the hardware that was up for grabs. In just a couple moments, Jeff Peja from the NPSL will take the microphone. He will crown officially Detroit City FC the 2017 NPSL Midwest Region Champions.
Neil, I don't know who will be named the official man of the match tonight, but my man of the match, believe it or not, you'd say Tyrone Mondi, but I give a vote to Bakey Goodman. You said it in the first half, and he played like it in the second half. Bakey Goodman never switched off.
At one time.
He won a lot of key balls and ended a lot of AFC Ann Arbor attacks, and we've been told by the truck he is the man of the match.
Well, and it's interesting you say that, because today, and I don't know if they want you to go public with this or not, but I cast a vote. You and I are both voting members in the NPSL for the end-of-season awards, and I'll say I put Bakey Goodman in my list. There was no doubt about it.
Me too. Because he's a very...
All right, so now Jeff Peja with the NPSL is down on the field, and we'll send it to the field to carry the award ceremony.
Thank you everyone. Detroit, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on the behalf of the National Premier Soccer League, Managing Director Jeff Default, Chairman of the Board Joe Baroni, our ball sponsor Mitre for the NPSL playoffs all season long. First of all, I'd like to thank the City of Detroit, Detroit City Football Club, its ownership group, and the Detroit City FC staff for putting on one of the best Midwest region tournaments we've ever had in this league. I'd also like to thank all 4 teams that participated in this tournament: Dayton Dynamo, Duluth FC, AFC Ann Arbor, and Detroit City Football Club. We had three incredible matches this weekend, from a 92nd minute last gasp free kick from Ann Arbor to a 5-goal thriller against Duluth for Detroit City, to tonight's game, an unbelievable comeback and then win in stoppage time from Detroit City Football Club. So now it is my pleasure and my honor to kick it back up to the PA announcer for the presentation of the 2017 National Premier Soccer League Midwest Region Champions Trophy.
On behalf of the National Premier Soccer League, congratulations to DCFC for their tremendous success this season. And congratulations to AFC Ann Arbor for their runner-up. Here are the champions of the 2017 NPSL DCFC. Number 0's Fernando Pina. 5, Stephen Carroll. 9, Sean Lawson. 10, Cyrus Sadie. 4 is Seb Harris. 13, Bakey Goodman. 14, Zach Bach. 17, George Hamakoff. 18, David Edwardson, the captain. 19, Roddy Green. 22, Mauricio Castorino. 23 is Zach Shiwi. 28, Tyler Mormon. 38, David Dwayhe. 40 is Troy Watson. 45, Jordan Tyler. 96, Omar Sinclair. And number 97, Tyrone Mondi. And your head coach, Ben Pierman. On behalf of the National Premier Soccer League, presenting your 2017 NPSL Midwest Regional Champions, DCFC.
It is the 2017 NPSL Midwest Region Champion Detroit City FC, as the fans from the Northern Guard come out onto the field to celebrate with the squad. They have done it, a magical run through the playoffs thus far. They took down the regular season champion AFC Ann Arbor squad tonight that had beaten them twice in the regular season. But it doesn't matter here. They have the trophy. They are going to the NPSL National Semifinals.
I think it doesn't matter to them. For those supporters, to Dave Edwardson. A lot of people say this is a college summer league. It's more than that. When you watch Detroit City FC receive their medals from Alex Wright, and you think about the ownership group for Detroit City FC, the 5 of them got together and formed a soccer league and then decided they wanted from that success to form a soccer club. And that soccer club has been built into this.
The fans begin to get onto the pitch. The squad will celebrate with their people. Magical night here tonight in historic Keeler Stadium. The stadium that the supporters built. A public fundraising initiative, a historic partnership between the supporters group and their club to rehab a stadium that had just about fallen into ruins for the good of the community. And look what's been created.
But then again, that says it all, man. because to the rest of this country, Detroit had fallen into ruins. That was the narrative. It was a once great place that had fallen into ruins, like the stadium we're in tonight, that was opened by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. When he opened it, he uttered the words, and I'm trying to remember the quote, that was, "If this be a boondoggle, then I'm for boondoggles, and so are you." And stood on this ground and opened this great stadium, and it fell into disrepair, and people that cared about Detroit came in and rebuilt it. You know, one of the high schools in the city of Detroit, Detroit Renaissance's name is the Phoenix. And the Phoenix, of course, is the bird that rose from the ashes. Well, this is the football club that rose from the ashes that everybody else in this country thought represented Detroit. Well, this is Detroit. Champions.
The national semifinals, the next stop for Detroit City FC. We will know their fate later on tonight, exactly where they'll be headed, or if they're hosting, which certainly is a possibility as well. That depends on what happens in some of the other action in the NPSL tonight. Essentially, I'll give you the short version. You're rooting against Elm City, and you're rooting against Orange County FC if you're a City fan that wants to host. Last I heard, Elm County was up 2-0 in their game. Orange County kicking off right about now out on the West Coast. And there is Caesar, Ben Pierman, on the shoulders with the trophy.
That may be his desktop background for a very long time.
For the rest of his career, maybe.
Oh.
And of course, if City ends up not hosting, then that would be the end of the broadcasting season for us here, which certainly we hope is not the case. But if it is, we say thank you to each and every one of you who tuned in all season long. Of course, this fantastic crew as well that has done the job night after night, broadcast after broadcast, answered every single bell. But Ben Pierman in Detroit City FC, the man of the hour, and there's owner Alex Wright, head coach Ben Pierman, exchanging a hug, and there's a lot of hugs going on that pitch here at historic Keyworth Stadium.
You know, you mentioned our crew, Neil. A couple of things. First of all, Max Hinson in tonight's director's chair, but Adam Moyet, who is one of the associate producers, not with us tonight. He's celebrating the birth of his child. And we were hoping to get some interviews down there from the pitch. It looks like in the sea of humanity that will not be possible, but the other thing that I want to say, Neil, is thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure for me. This is my first year behind the microphones here. I filled in for you last year, and through an unbelievable blessing, I was able to come on and be a part of this and join you for these games. And I'll tell you what, it's been some of the most fun of my career, and working with you is a true blessing and a joy. So it's been fun sharing the mics with you. I hope we have another game or more together, but if it's not to be, partner, you're someone I've watched since you started broadcasting games on WDFN, and I was in the other end of the control room when you were working with Mario Mpemba at Oakland. So thank you for everything, Pods.
Appreciate those words. Good show all season long, no doubt about it. It was a good show here tonight at historic Keyworth Stadium. A game that had everything. Early opportunities for both sides. Omar Sinclair did not be able to come through on that free kick, but remember that opportunity. But a man that did come through was Jordan Tyler off that Tyrone Mondi corner. And that got the party going for Detroit City FC. Omar Sinclair would, however, connect on that free kick, sending it into the right corner. And Detroit City FC was up by the count of 2-0. A red card would be issued to AFC Ann Arbor, and had a man down But that did not deter them. Tendai Jarira would score to make the lead 2-1, and then that man, Alec Lisinski, did what he's done all season long here at Keyworth Stadium. That is score a goal. But in stoppage time, in a story you couldn't write, that man, Tyrone Mondi, would save the day for Detroit City FC and seal a 2017 Midwest Region champion of the NPSL status for Detroit City FC. Tyrone Mondi, an incredible season, will play on in the national semifinals as Detroit City FC host the trophy and the championship standing. Everything tonight is coming up City. Let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Lindsey Pearson, standing by with the man of the match, Bakey Goodman.
Thanks, Neil. Bakey, what's going through your head right now?
I'm just so happy, honestly. I mean, that's an experience I'll never forget. I know the team's buzzing right now. We're so happy about it. We just want to keep moving on, and we did it. And for all these fans out there, look at them. They're crying. They're so happy. They're screaming. It's a great experience. It's a great moment.
What was the difference for your team tonight?
I think the thing we just harped on the whole time was just working hard and giving it our all. I mean, in the second half, we were struggling a little bit. They were getting domination a little bit. But, I mean, we just gave it our all. And look at it. 2 minutes left, we scored the goal. That just came from heart and effort. That's it.
And walk us through that goal. You got the assist on Mondi's winning goal, didn't you? Walk us through that.
Yeah, I heard a voice come from far away. I didn't know who it was. When I heard this high-pitched voice, I figured it was Mondi. So I just put it up there, figured he'd be there, and he put it away. No, it's great. It was great.
What are the plans for tonight?
We'll have fun. We'll have fun. I won't say anything else, but we'll have a good time. Boys are happy, I'll say that.
Thanks, Bakey. Neil, back to you.
Thank you very much, Lindsey. Bakey Goodman. The boys are happy. The fans are happy. Everybody is happy around Detroit City FC after a 3-2 victory over AFC Ann Arbor.
You know what, Neil, and you're right, and everybody's happy, and we're seeing on Twitter at the hashtag WatchCity, our viewers are happy too. From Neil and I, from both of us, thanks for tuning in. We're here because you watch, and the support we've had all season has been great, and this team is fed off of it. And you look at the man of the hour there, Tyrone Mondi. It's been a pleasure for us to bring all of this to you, and this team has warranted it. City switched off tonight for parts of this, and I wasn't sure they'd find it again. But that man found an extra gear in stoppage time, and there's a trophy because of it with some pictures that'll last a very long time.
No question about that. So we will find out DCFC's fate later on tonight after an update from what happens out in California. So check out the Orange County FC game if you want to find out what's going on for Detroit City FC. So over 6,400 in attendance here tonight. They will go home happy with the ultimate prize. Their team, La Rouge, Detroit City FC, the 2017 NPSL Midwest Region champions. For our entire crew, my broadcast partner John Krieger and our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson, my name is Neil Ruhr, reminding you one final time, City with the 3-2 victory. Thanks for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.